Hey tribe, is it who you know or is it what you know? I think you've all heard that it's really who you know that will get you ahead in this world. And what we're going to talk about today is why that's important for you to think about when it comes to your professional development. Let's get into it. Hey, yo, and what's up, tribe? Like I said, your network is what can help you grow and become a better person. But are you manicuring it right? Do you really understand what your network actually involves? And how do you know how to properly use that network? So let's talk about your friends, let's talk about your acquaintances, and let's get into who you're surrounding yourself with. Okay, so why is who you surround yourself important? Well, who you know can introduce you to other people. This is all about that network. And so the more people that you know, and LinkedIn is really built around this premise, the more opportunities you will have in life. So back in the 70s, a researcher named Mark Granovetter did a look at how people's social networks were. I used his research in my dissertation, and I think it's absolutely fascinating. So he found that everyone has two types of friends. Strong ties, like your social group, those friends who you're going out with on a regular basis, who know you intimately, who know your strengths and your weaknesses, your pain points, all of those really important things. Think about the TV show Friends and think about that group, a small group of core people who are really there for each other. It's important for you to have that. What Granovetter actually recognized is that your opportunities don't necessarily always come from that core group of friends. And so he identified weak ties. And these weak ties were really where opportunities were coming from. So what are weak ties? Well, they're those acquaintances that you still know. They're those friends from high school that you may begrudgingly have kept in touch with since that time. Maybe even friends from college that you try to keep in touch with, but you can't always. Look at your friends list on Facebook. Chances are you've got 300, 500, maybe even 1,000 friends on there, but how many of them do you actually talk to on a daily basis? So those acquaintances are the friends, are the weak ties where you can actually find opportunities. LinkedIn is another great example of that and a very good resource for cultivating those acquaintances to know who you are professionally, because that is where those opportunities are going to come from. So that's the importance of those weak ties. But let's talk about the importance of some of those strong ties, some of the core people that you might hang around with. So one of the important things about picking a good group of friends to be around is understanding that people have similar habits and they rub off on each other. You've heard the phrase, birds of a feather flock together. And if you haven't, congratulations, now you have. The idea is that you want to be around people that you aspire to be like. And so think about a person who surrounds themselves with people who are maybe not doing anything productive after work. Maybe they're doing drugs or an excess of alcohol and really not growing. Well, what's going to inspire them to grow as well? And so it's important to understand that you try to surround yourself with people who are going to make you a better person. And in the case of professional development, are the people that you're surrounding yourselves with ambitious, and are they looking to better themselves? It's been said that if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And so that's an important thing, because you also want people who are going to implicitly or explicitly push you to do better. When I say implicitly, it's implied. It basically means, hey, just because they're doing better means that you're going to want to do better. But also it's important for those people to sometimes push you explicitly. My group of friends know that I want to do things that I want to do. And so they'll ask how I'm doing with those things. They're going to encourage me by asking, and sometimes outright say, hey, it's important for you to do this. Why don't you go home early and get some sleep? Or how can I help you do that? That's important. And it's also important for you to give back to your tribe as well in that way. You want to probably compare that to people who are actually going to hold you back. So think about the type of people who are going to say, no, you don't need to work. Hey, you can skip making this video, or you can skip reading and hang out with us. Those are the type of people you've got to be careful about. Now, do understand that some of your friends are going to want to keep you rested as well, and it's going to be important for them to say, you know, you've been working hard. Why don't you take a break so that you're sharper and you're able to handle things a little bit better? Another thing, and it goes back to if you're the smartest person in the room, is that you don't want to be the type of person who just surrounds themselves with people who are lesser than them. No such thing, by the way, in order for them to feel better. There are those types of people. I hope you're not that type of person, because you also want your friends to keep you humble. You know, friends that mock you, that make you laugh at yourself, that help you see your flaws and also see that your flaws aren't that important, are important for you and your general psychology. So make sure you've got friends who are going to keep you humble, and of course, work to keep your friends humble as well. Okay, so what are you doing to cultivate, and how can you work with your friends? And especially what I'm thinking about are those acquaintances, those weak ties. I don't want to reinvent the wheel, and Forbes actually has an article which gives you some tips on how to do that. And I will link down in the description to that Forbes article. But basically what it means is that, cultivate those relationships even if it's not on a day-to-day basis. Are you sending happy birthday messages, not necessarily just writing on someone's wall, but sending them messages? Are you asking how people are doing even though you haven't seen them in a while? Are you thinking about those friends that you used to have those deep bonds with and reaching out just to check in, just to say hi, just to see what's going on in their life? Those little things, even if you don't constantly keep in touch with them, will allow you to maintain some of the rapport and friendships that probably enriched your life at a previous time. And it's important to do that because, one, hopefully you actually genuinely are interested in the well-being of those individuals. Hopefully they may be able to benefit from a conversation with you. But, if there's ever a moment in time where you wanted to put out and hope that something comes back to you, hey, you've got those acquaintances to do that. I do encourage using LinkedIn. I do encourage using add-ons to LinkedIn to make it a much more workable site for you, a workable portal for you. Post regularly on that, and generally speaking, don't forget to reach out to friends on other modes of social media as well. Okay, real quick video on your network and how to leverage your network. We'll probably talk about more of that in a little bit in future series, but I thought it was important just to mention it here. Remember, it's who you know and who you branch out to that is going to help you become better and do better in the world. So don't be afraid to manage those friendships. Hey tribe, thanks for checking in. If you haven't yet, hit subscribe. Click that notification bell, especially important if I decide to start uploading different types of videos throughout the week as well. If you like this video, give it a like. And as always, I hope you're a better person today than you were yesterday. And I'm looking forward to you being a better person tomorrow than you were today. Take care.